Can I ask
person to do that. I think it could help. It would help.
so
It's
can I
not
ask you,
homophobic abuse. That's another one.
Can I
yeah.
ask you a question, Farah, just to coming away from the toilet issue? Do you think is it on the NHS, the surgery? And if it's not, do you think it should be?
Well, the NHS is the surgery is actually on the NHS as well at different clinics. Because I had mine in London, East Putney, Charing Cross. I chose which one I wanted to go to, so I went to the private one in East Putney, and Dr. Balringer. And yeah,
Did you do it through the NHS or did you do it privately?
through the NHS, darling. But that's the only surgery I had was downstairs. My rest are going through hormones. So my upper part is through hormones.
Have you ever had like facial surgery or?
I never even had an Adam's apple. No.
You're very beautiful. Very
Thank you,
beautiful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Pharaoh,
Unlike some.
Pharaoh, can I ask you a question?
That will come up to another masculine person. If it's a trans person coming up to me with the aggression, I'm going to show my masculine. So it's like two cats or two dogs fighting the masculine side. You're going to get that anyway.
Can I ask you a question, Farah? You've got all these terminologies, different terminologies. Apparently, there's more than 100. You know, you've got binary. You've got. Do you agree with any all of those?
No, we haven't, Ange. Obviously, we're trans. Like the community. I mean, to be fair, I don't get mixed up in that. I don't. I think it's too much. You know, we're trans. We take a part of the flag up. Do you get what I mean? We're trans. That's it. Like straight down the line. You know, we're not anything else. But yeah, you get it's just too much. It's the most. Do you get what I mean? It's confusing even for us. It's madness.
Wayne, what question did you want to ask?
Yeah, it's a question for both Torian and also Pharaoh. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong.
No, it's fine.
Like Pharaoh, we all know, and Torian, we all know within certain ethnicities there is a lot of homophobia, transphobia, etc. Same within religion. Pharaoh, what would you say to Torian who has, and Torian don't think I'm having an attack because I'm not, Torian has said some really, really transphobic comments towards EQ, if you like it or not. What would you say as a mixed race woman? What would you say to the black community about transitioning?
I can't hear you, darling. You're muffling. I can't hear you.
Am I muffling now? Am I muffling now?
Speak up. Your voice is so low.
Sound muffled now? Do I sound muffled now?
It's quite low. You are quite low, darling.
Oh, that's because
Basically saying his question is, as a black trans woman, what do you think about my transphobic comment to EQ?
No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Torian, you can be transphobic at times, which is your prerogative. But as a mixed race woman, what would you say to the black community to try and change the perception of transphobia within the community?
You can't really say nothing to the black community like that because they have their own views, and it is very difficult growing up in the black community because I've had to go through a lot. My brother's gone through a lot because of me changing my gender and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I get a few black people or mixed race people giving it, but I'm not bothered because I'm used to it through growing up, so it doesn't bother me. But when it comes to Torian saying her views, it's not aimed at me for me to have a go back at her, so it's not going to cause me any effect. Do you know what I mean? It's just not causing me any effect or nothing, so I'm not really bothered, to be honest.
All right, can I ask you one more question before I ask Chloe and the rest of the boxers, because they've been waiting patiently. I asked you this question last night, but, I'll ask again about, if you was to get into a fight with a woman, you know what I mean?
No, like I said the other day, a couple of years ago, there was two women that tried to jump me, and I got one and I put her to the floor. I never attacked her, I put her to the floor. Police come, got rid of her. Because it was like, that was another homophobic slur. Because her partner was trying to come to me and I weren't interested. That's another problem we get. That's another problem we get as well. Do you know what I mean? So I put her to the floor, police come, friend holded her down, and that was it. Because I know I could have gone further if I wanted to finish it. I could have finished it. But I know my.
Do you feel like you have that the other person has an unfair disadvantage?
Can you
write
on a Kaz?
Yeah, I will do. The fact that you're a trans woman, do you think you have an advantage when you have a fight? If it is
no, because I avoid that. My mouth is quick enough to hurt if I need to use my mouth.
I think she means like physically.
Yeah, I mean physically.
Me attacking a woman physically?
Yeah, physically.
No, because I know I could do damage.
Yeah, that's what she means. So yeah.
No.
All right. Is a distraction in here? Because I'm going to kick her out.
And I hope any other trans person
I'm here.
would agree with me on that.
Where's Mama Kaz?
She's not in the box, guys. If she wants to get in the box,
Mama Kaz requested. Mama Kaz just requested. And can I just mention something to everybody in here as well? To the 3,500 whatever. I want to mention this now, so I don't know whoever's trans, gay, whatever in here. If you agree, you agree. If you don't, you grow. I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying that real women are called cis women. Not that, because it's not biology.
yeah.
They're a woman, they're a female, and they're a lady. There's 3 combinations. You're not cis, you're a woman. I
agree with that.
As a boy. I was born a male skeletal, and I know in myself that I know who I am. So I'm a trans woman, not a woman, which is a total different thing. This is where people need to get things together and gather it together. Because I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh, I'm non-binary, I'm this. It's all lies.
Yeah.
Lies. You were assigned at birth as male or female, then we come as a trans, we transitioned, and I'm happy with who I am, and I'm happy for my trans community. Half of them know who they are.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm sick and tired of people saying, oh, you're a cis woman. No, there's nothing called cis. You're born a woman and that's it. That is it. You're a woman and that's
Yeah,
it.
I agree. I don't understand that, sis. Yeah, I agree with you, man.
I was born a male, and I haven't got a womb. I don't have ovaries, which are going to go and get checked, because before I was thinking I probably have got that, because it can happen. It can happen. It can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to stand. And by the way, ladies, I'm not in competition with no trans, no woman, but myself and God.
Right, that is it there.
That's a really important question here, right? In regards to children, right? You know, it's kids that want to transition, or
but no child should be allowed to transition until they're 18.
No, I haven't finished though. They want to transition and everything else. And what about education, like this? The education in school, should it be taught in schools at some
No. Like me, EQ, Pharaoh, and that we got this far, we knew what we were. No one sat us down in a classroom. Like, you don't need to be teaching kids what this is.
I'll be real, yeah. I took my kids out. The school contacted us and I said no. Because my 10-year-old and my 9-year-old at the time don't need to sit down and hear anything about LGBT or the trans community. It's not their age group. It's not something that they're open to at this young age. So yes, I, as a mother, called the school and I told them that my kids are not sitting in that classroom. And that was that.
Cannot conceptualize what this entails. A child will never conceptualize it.
I'll ask a quick question.
Can I just ask a really
You can't say that. You can't say that when you talk. When you put
oh, shut up, Gypsy.
when you put the tribal community down and call us
Can we stop Gypsy Queen? It's not about you.
talk about discrimination.
Oh my
You are
God.
the biggest racist.
You're so annoying.
You are the biggest racist
Gypsy Queen, please.
on the app.
Can I just ask this question? So how come there's unisex toilets in schools? You know, which I'm hearing in the comments. Is that
Not in my kids' school.
No,
There is.
but can I just say, like, unisex toilets have got the highest rate of SA, so that's
Can I just
not a good
ask a
idea.
question?
Not my kids' school.
Can I ask a question to any of the transgender people in here? What are your opinions on people transitioning after committing offences?
Oh,
What
good
do you mean, like,
question.
are you asking whether they should go to the men's?
No,
or the
I'm
women's?
asking, what's your opinion on people who have committed serious crimes but have transitioned to get a new identity?
That is such a good question. I'm not going to lie.
Such
Right.
is great.
You don't get a whole new identity, though.
And now, now they're living as a female, and they're a rapist using the female changing rooms. And
That's
all
like that man, I swear, that's on this app.
Yeah, there is. There's someone on
You can't
this
really
app.
say that about that community.
Yeah,
Because
that's
every
Jade
is bad in every community. Lads. Every community is bad in.
That's Jade Palmer.
Can I just add something to that real fast about should people be able to transition if they've committed an offence? So the NHS currently provides medical treatments like Viagra to offenders, so that wouldn't even be a question. The NHS still provides them sort of sources to people.
Isn't Viagra for sex though? Sorry, I love TikTok.
Well, yeah, people who have issues with becoming whatever they need to be in that region if they can't fully function. The NHS still funds.
Yeah, they give you condoms in prison as well. You can get condoms in prison. Wait, what do you want them for? Like?
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who have transitioned to get away from their crimes.
No, you
But
can't.
it
You
wouldn't
can't.
get
Well, you've still got the same criminal record.
No,
Yeah,
but they're under a different name. There's somebody
Yeah,
on
but
this
your
app
name
that-
doesn't change
Mama
anything.
Casa.
same.
One
Do you know what I
second,
mean?
no facial question doesn't make sense to try and get away from their crime because you can't get away from their crime because they'll
Well, you
always.
can, because if you think about it, yeah, Jade Palmer committed a crime under a different name, yeah? And if it weren't for people finding out, then it would have never been known. So,
Yeah, but the
really,
thing
Even
is,
that Holly Stanley, whatever his
Holly
name.
Stanley's a prime example.
A lot of people change their identity anyway. What about those people that change that, you know,
Yeah,
hidden
yeah, I
under
get that. But
another
my
name?
thing is about, like, you've got Holly Stanley on there who committed some serious offences to do with children, but changed their name to Holly Stanley and then goes under being a female.
But you know
Yeah.
what, No Face? I think the biggest problem with someone like that pretending to be now, now being a woman.
Oh, No
they're
Face, they're so
using-
uneducated,
they're
they
using
don't
female
understand
toilets,
what you're
female
saying.
changing rooms, and they have
No
great
Face is very
government.
educated, actually, babe.
No, no, No
Even
Face
women,
is
a lot of them are
educated.
that
Everyone else
educated,
doesn't seem to
especially
get
the
it. So
ones
No Face is saying basically, should it be allowed for people who've been child predators or any of those things to be able to transition? Should it be banned that anyone who's committed offences against children shouldn't be able to change their identity and shouldn't be able to change the name
That
or
would
the
never
gender?
happen, though, because
That is what No Face is
But wait,
saying.
that would never
Exactly what I'm
happen
trying to
because
say.
There you
people
go,
still
No
have a
Face. Sorry,
right.
that's all I was jumping up. 'Cause I
That
don't
would
know
never
what you're
happen
saying.
though, because people still have their rights though. It's like people in prison, they still have their rights. So as much as they might commit their crime, the UK would never allow it because people are still allowed their rights.
Yeah.
I think that also the biggest danger for me is like with No Face was
Yeah, but it's so hypothetical, isn't it?
as a female using, as being around, being allowed around females, in places, isolated places, and they've raped a woman. You know what I mean?
Definitely happened as well. It's definitely happened. There's definitely people that have transitioned after doing crazy crimes.
What about that guy? That guy that did transition. I think he was waiting for court. He committed a crime as a male, but he transitioned, and after he committed the crime, and they actually put him in a female prison. He was pre-op. He hadn't had the surgery. There was such an outpour about it. They did actually transfer him to a male's prisons, but this was a guy. I don't know if was he a rapist or something.
Yeah, and can I just say, like, now, like, the law's changed. If you, like, no matter how long you've transitioned or what you've had done, if you grape a woman, you are charged as a man because only a man can commit that act.
Correct.
Yeah.
The vulnerable wing. That's
Any
what they put
trans
on.
Correct.
any trans person that's committed a violent crime in the UK, they can't go to a prison. If you're a trans woman and commit a violent crime, you can't go there.
Girl, women are vicious. I'd rather go to men's.
No thanks.
No, you wouldn't go. You'd go on a vulnerable. So
I'm going to drop down
I'm not
anyway. Thank you
vulnerable,
for
like-
answering. I just wanted to
no,
know.
but you would be in a vulnerable. Wing.
I wouldn't.
That's
I'd
what you'd be
request to
put
go
on.
in. I'd request to go in the normal population. I don't want to be in the Gez. I want to be with the man.
Yeah, and Mama Kez isn't in the box, guys.
Kaz in the box.
He's not in here, but Mama Kez, do you want to jump in the box? I don't know if she's still in the comments. Hi,
Hi,
Wayne.
Andy. Yeah,
Hi,
sorry.
Wayne.
This is what I'm saying. You've got this
Sorry,
jiggly puff at the top chatting shit. I've been to prison as a trans woman and I went to another prison. You can't talk on trans issues. You're not even transitioning. Angie, are you understanding and remembering that I've been to prison as a woman and I went to a women's prison, not restricted, not locked down, not invulnerable, anything like that? Stop
You
chatting shit. You
transitioned,
should
though.
get your dick chopped off, you bitch.
Wow. Wow. Wait, Angie, can you rise up a list here? She's got a list here of the trans
Hang on, before you do that, can I
people that
just
have
say
committed
something?
crimes that have changed their names.
Angie, can I just say something
Why
before
is she
you
even
do
allowed
that?
in the box after being racist? Like,
Oh,
she
Gypsy
should
Queen,
never
sit up
talk
a
on
minute.
racism.
Oh,
sorry.
Gypsy Queen, go away.
No, I won't.
Doing
You're
videos and
racist.
atting me.
You're
You're
racist.
This is not about racism.
You're
Please.
Right.
No, just
Just
drop
speak.
her.
You're
Can I-
racist.
can I
There's
just
no relevance to being here. You just want to be where I am.
You should
Let me
be allowed
speak.
to
Out in Mama Kaz is
Right,
wanting to
stop.
come up now.
Let me speak.
and
She just said I'm a
Oh my
racist.
God. Can I just say what? Can I just say what No Face No Case just did there was absolutely disgusting, because what he tried to do then is try and use people who are transgender to try and say, well, what about this prison? What about that prison? Now, I am not a big fan of EQ, but what she came back with, her clapback, is absolutely 100%. No Face, No Case, you're talking shit. You can't use people of transgender to say that about committing.
That's not what he done. That's not what he was doing.
It was absolutely disgusting.
That's not what he done. Why are you twisting
Yes, he
what he
did.
done?
You
You know,
made
he
it-
just
That's what
asked.
he was
Yeah.
doing.
Oh,
At all.
He just asked, should people be allowed to transition
Just
after
here for
committing a
Wayne
crime?
and-
There you go. That's not transphobic, no.
How is that
No, that's not transphobic at all.
That's not transphobic.
It's a genuine question.
No, it's not.
There's a difference between having an opinion and being transphobic.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's...
And he's got a point though, Wayne.
And none of us trans people are saying it was transphobic, so don't you worry about it. You're just a man.
It's not transphobic, but Wayne, he's got a point as well. If you think about it, it was a good question. I don't think he was being transphobic at all. I think it was just a question.
Yeah, because there is a...
And I think it was a good question.
There's a woman on here, Jade Palmer, that goes by
what are you waffling
female.
about? You
I don't know if she's a
absolute
trans woman or she's a cross-dress, or I assume she's a trans woman. I think she committed rape. Now, she's going to be using female toilets, female changing rooms, you know, socializing with women, you know, as she's a woman herself. And that's the dangers here. You know what I mean?
This is the problem, with people, and Wayne's being one of them, He's the sort of person that likes to just stir shit up when it was just a general question to the people of what they felt. And if
because he wants us to be victims, bro. He wants to feel sorry.
Exactly that. That's exactly that.
When that's not what we are.
Do you know what I mean? I come in here, ask a simple question, but then you've got a knob like him that likes to try and twist things and cause an argument from it. But I appreciate you all fucking telling him straight.
Yeah, we've seen right through it, bro. Don't worry about it.
Keep fucking smashing it anyway. Big love, everyone.
Yeah. Who else? Let me put someone else in the box, guys. Can I ask another question? What about people that don't agree with, you know, they just agree that if you're born a male, you're born a woman. They don't believe in people that should have a sex change. Would you class them as transphobic?
No, I'd just say like that's their reality.
No,
we
I
can't
don't.
control what they
It's
think.
an opinion, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Pop and Sue.
I feel like if we're going to respect the trans community, we need to respect people's religions as well. And in reality, there's religions that don't agree with it. It don't mean to say that when they see a trans person, they're going to disrespect them or make them feel any less than what they are. But if we're going to respect a minority, respect religions too.
Torin,
Because like I said...
Can I ask you a question based on that? Just because I asked this the other day, like, so some people would obviously argue and say that trans ideology and stuff is a belief that we are expecting you to believe in. But surely you're just saying the exact same thing with your if you're saying we should respect your religion. Why don't you expect
No, because religion isn't being passed off as fact. Religion isn't affecting women's rights.
What I'm saying though, Popcorn Sue, I'm not saying, like, yes, I'm a Muslim, before anything. And yes, in my religion, that's not something that we practice, and it's not something I've grown up around. But that doesn't mean to say that if I see a trans person, I'm going to be disrespectful or make them feel any less or make them feel away. No, it just means that's just what I was grown up with. I don't know any different. And it's okay.
I just think it's so easy to pass off trans being a choice.
Religion's a choice, you dumb cow. Religion you choose. Fuck me, you're so thick. Oh my God, I can't believe is everyone else as frustrated as me in the comments? Oh my fucking God. Honest to God, Chloe's the only one with sense.
Might as well just stay up here, girl.
Anyways, I don't know what that rat just said, but like I said, I'm a Muslim first, and that's not something I was brought up with. End of.
Why's she got to be a rat?
Thank you then. Religion is a
Hey.
choice.
Hey, Mama Kaz.
Hello, everyone. So,
hey, Mama Kaz.
Hey, Torin. I'm wanted. What's going on?
We're having
just well, basically, I don't know. Still, that even still to me, even though how long I've said I've been on my journey for, EQ still thinks that we're not trans, even though that I'm like over like 15 years.
No, that's not what she's saying. That's not what she's saying.
Are you going to give
Can people stop putting words in her mouth? Because that's not what she said.
No, that's what she said.
It's not. She said you're not trans the way we're trans. You're not trans the way we're trans.
Well, that's my friend there. So at the end of the day, I've had the surgery. She hasn't done, so that doesn't make her anything.
She's not like us. So we're the same. She's not. Like, there's different categories of stuff. Like, it's not
so
that
what
deep.
Am I a T?
But when you get your operation,
you'll
be an asshole.
So wait, Chloe, is there part 1, part 2, and part 3 of how to be trans? Like, I don't get what you said.
I don't know why you're getting aggressive. I can tell you. I can explain it dead easy.
Can we just hear from Mama Kez?
Okay, do you give me permission to talk about Evil Queen? Because you said you don't want to.
This isn't about Evil Queen, though. This is what I don't understand.
I'm not talking about her journey, but I just want to pick out a few things because she's been saying a few things in the comments. Number one, she did just attack Pharaoh by saying Pharaoh is the type of trans woman that attacks women. Can we just recall Evil Queen?
Yeah, I've got a screenshot of that,
You did kick CLA in the downstairs area. I think you did forget about that, number one. Number two, my whole thing about yesterday, I don't think that was a way of support for the trans community. That was just a way to, again, deflect from the fact that she was racist yesterday when she was towards AJ. She doesn't support the trans community. She said numerous times that anyone that is a pre-op trans person like myself and official juice
is transgender.
Isn't a trans woman. No, she has said that. I've got the recording. If you want me to send it to you, Angie, I'm more than happy to do that. She said that many, many times. My thing is, what EQ wants to consistently do is compare herself at 40 years old to a 24-year-old.
She's not 40 years old. Why are you saying that?
Why are you so angry?
Because she's not 40 years old.
Wherever it is.
Not pushing 40, she's only just like turned 30 for
Okay. 37 then. Bloody hell, Chloe.
Angie, when Mama Kaz is done, can I speak next?
Then we'll
That's
say
all
that
right.
15 stone then.
37 then, Chloe. Is that better? Is that better for you? I just think certain things that was discussed yesterday, such as racism, there wasn't anyone from the black community that was trans in the box to discuss that, number one. It was full of obviously people from the white community discussing, topics that obviously the black community faces. I didn't think that was right. I do just think the whole thing yesterday was, again, to victimize herself. Evil Queen picks and chooses when she wants to stand by the trans community. When she doesn't want to, when she's every day attacking people like myself. This has been going on for 3 years. I've been called a man in a wig.
I've sat and watched you on your live track people down.
Are you getting paid from Evil Queen? What is this backup dancer? Is she paying you, babe? Is she paying you to talk? Honestly. What is wrong with this person? Keep jumping every 2 minutes.
Chloe, please, can we just let her talk?
What I'm saying is, okay, Evil Queen had to start at somewhere at one point. She weren't always 37 as a post-op trans woman. She once had down below parts. She once had other parts attached to herself that she no longer has now. Everyone has to start somewhere. And this whole segregation, this whole competition with her that she consistently does to every single other person on this app. I look better than you. This one's got a bigger forehead. This one looks like this. This one looks like that. You had to start somewhere, sweetheart. You had to be, at a start of your journey at one point.
She hasn't denied that. Like, you're not even letting her speak.
Oh my God.
I don't understand with the, because, by law, you are identified as a trans, whether you have surgery or not. You don't even need that.
Can I just explain? Because that's not how it works. Self-ID is not valid in this country. So it doesn't matter what you identify. It's not legally recognised.
It is, because I work in the
It's not.
Go and see the police, love, and ask if it's a hate crime if you tell me different.
Self-ID is not legally
Go do that one.
No, can I say something?
What you're saying, it just segregates the trans community even further. Like, there's no community with what you're saying. Like, why is there this segregation?
Wild.
And can I just jump in and say one thing?
It's mad, though, that you're like kicking.
One sec, because
you're silencing the actual transsexuals and listening to transgenders.
No, I'm not.
It's not right.
No, I'm not at all. What is she talking about? I do apologise. What was that about?
All right, won't happen now, Mama Kaz. It's gone. God.
Yeah, that's really what I've got to say about it. I don't think Evil Queen is an advocate for the trans community in the slightest. I'm not saying that I am either, but she has said many, many times that this is what I'm different as a trans woman. I don't sit here and I've never ever sat here and said I see myself as a biological woman. I'm very, very proud of being trans, and I think that's why the trans community has a lot of hate from biological females, because you've got people like Evil Queen walking around that I said many, many times. Because she doesn't have her bits and bobs anymore, she is a real woman. She is a biological woman. She has said that. She has said that on her platform. Okay. Now that's where I'm different. That's where Pharaoh's different. The way I see it is, you are a trans woman. You will never be a biological woman. I will never be a biological woman. As much as that pains me to say, it's facts. It's reality. Okay. And that's where it makes myself and other people like Evil Queen very, very different. Because she walks on this app and she compares herself to biological women. She drags down biological women.
Yeah.
Jealousy, because it's hate, because it's insecurity. You need to come off this app, darling, and fix your own insecurities before you project them all over this app. And that's my opinion on it.
Okay, can I please jump in? Can I just say one thing? Sorry. So I just want to say this, and just like Loki, I don't want this to be an argument. I just don't want to be interrupted. But like, this live is all now turning against EQ, and the thing is, I'm not sitting here trying to be like EQ's backing dancer or whatever. But the difference between this live and the Evil Queen's live is that everyone was talking about the trans experience, everything was talking about trans education, stuff like that. All the other lives I've been sitting there ripping her apart. you are all just going for personal shit with her. I just don't
I've not
understand
said any.
why. Why can't you just take her out of the
To
equation?
respond to, I've not said
We
anything
don't
personal
really
about
listen.
Evil Queen.
We've heard of people's experiences. We don't need to. We want to ask questions.
I'm talking. I've not said
We're
anything
not talking about one
personal.
person, we're talking
Evil
about a
Queen has dragged me
community.
for the past 2 years. If I want to be personal, I could have been personal. I've not been personal in the slightest. What I'm saying is this consistent segregation because she's furthering her transition than some of us that are not.
Well, I agree with you, Mama Kaz, and the people that say, like, even if they have had the change, how are they going to be, you know, how are they a woman? Where's the womb? Do you get what I mean? That's when you'll make a woman.
And I just want to say one other thing before I do go. I just want to say one other thing to clear this up. Why is it that every time you know, and I am saying this because she's the only one that does it to me on this app, I'm the same as Elphaba. Let me break that down. Okay, I think we can all agree on here that it's not even my opinion because I've met Elphaba. Elphaba has told me, CLA and Evil Queen, in confidence, she never wants to be a female. She never wants to transition. Elphaba is a fixation of a fictional character. She paints herself green, okay? She sings Defying Gravity every single day. Like, she belts, burps, and farts, right? She doesn't want to be hygienic because just like the character in the film, they burn if they touch water. So how am I the same as Elphaba? The fact that everyone that is pre-op is the same as Elphaba, that's disgusting. And I do feel like someone like Elphaba is taking the trans community back miles. It really, really has. But to sit there and always attack me, I'm the same as Elphaba.
I've said this before about like Alpha. I think that Alpha is just a joke to the trans community. Like, I'm trans myself as well. I think someone like Alpha is such a bad representation to the community. And when they're getting like, I don't know, like the clout, I guess, like when they're getting all the, you know, the views and everything and all their like opinions and stuff, and people are kind of sharing that person out there, it's making all of us look bad in turn because Alphaba is not a trans person. I'm sorry. Like
Angie, I know you did.
Sorry, 1 second. He set up that was it the GoFundMe for like hormones and stuff, and then he's not took a fucking single hormone in his life. Like, that's insane.
Angie, I know you did say on your live, I did hear it. You said, "Why is everyone saying that Elphaba's not trans?"
Yeah.
Angie, Elphaba has confirmed to me, and she has told me when I met her, she's not. She doesn't want to be trans. She's not trans. Everything around Elphaba is to be this character. It just so happens that Elphaba is a woman, yeah? So she wants anything. Like, the first thing she wanted to do was vocal surgery so she can sing like Elphaba. Everything is around the fixation of this character.
So Elphaba's not a female?
She's not a female. She's a cosplay of a fictional character. I'm really sorry to say that. Like, I'm not here being disrespectful towards the trans community, but to class that within the trans community is wrong. It's really, really wrong. And to use that as a representation of the trans community is also really wrong.
Sorry, can I just butt in, yeah? I just wanted to say, I get what you're saying, but with the Elphaba thing, if that's how she feels inside, because I'm trying to understand as someone that is not trans and brought up, like, not to be, I'm not used to it. So for her, if that's how she feels inside, you as a trans woman, that's what you have to fight every single day. So how can you say she's less of a trans woman because of certain things she does?
Because she's confirmed that she doesn't want to be trans. She's actually said that to me in confidence, and she's also said the same.
Now it makes sense.
She's also said the same to CLA, and she's also said the same to Evil Queen that she doesn't want to be trans.
And that's why I couldn't understand why EQ was saying what she was saying. I don't watch the lady, so I call her a heathen. So she's not a female.
So to me, with her saying that to all three of us, right, and the way she presents herself, that is to be a character.
I've just got a message for the chat. Don't listen to any of these people who've all got penises. They don't speak for the... Let's talk about trans, this, that and the other. They've all got willies. Don't listen to them, everybody.
This is
honestly.
Pay
no attention. Because how are you having trans talks and they've all got willies, love. They've all got pee-pees.
This is what I'm saying.
You go FYP and paper away. They're all men with willies. Don't pay any attention. How are they speaking of trans issues? The one in the top box has said she's been trans for 34 years, has had no surgery and that, and they're not breast, that's fat. You see, they're not breasties, they're fat. And they're not trans people, ignore them, everyone. Pay attention to my live 8 o'clock.
You need a womb to be a
Tell
Heck yeah, be yourself, be natural,
okay.
darling, for one
Cass,
day.
That's what I don't agree with. I don't agree with that because for anyone that identifies that don't have, whether you have the surgery or not, to me is a trans woman.
And to me, I'm not being homophobic, but EQ, you still sound like a fucking bloke and a fella. Andrew!
And guys, this is a reaction. This is a reaction because this,
like, she wants to come here and attack. You once had that, darling. You once had a dangly doodly, whatever you want to sit there and say. You once had that.
15 years ago, 15 years ago, 15 years ago.
I'm 24,
and Kaz,
I'm 24, darling. She's 37.
With the botch up body shout, have you ever seen it, like, DJ? Because I have, and it's like a designer vagina. So,
okay, and that's great. And that's
what
great
are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're saying that she was once in that position 15 years ago.
You don't get paid by Evil Queen to come here and defend her so much.
She doesn't say that she advocates for the trans community.
She advocates for the trans community.
When has she ever said that? When has she ever said that she advocates for the trans community?
But what did she do yesterday then, Becca?
Trans question.
Doesn't she always say she doesn't advocate for the trans community?
So what was she trying to do yesterday?
But she doesn't say that she's a trans advocate. Not once has she ever said that since.
She tried to advocate yesterday.
She's allowed to speak on issues. She's allowed to speak on issues. This, I can't even hear her before her. But this seems more like Kaz's personal issue.
No, it isn't. No,
it does. And then you're saying about Alpha.
It's many different things.
But Becca, one sec. EQ, to be fair, I don't have any hate on EQ, okay? But to be fair, she has been making a lot of comments, and in my opinion, transphobic comments.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because
people are clapping back, Becca. So, this is not a hate live on EQ, but they are clapping back, looking at the comments. And
it's just stating the fact.
In the box,
homophobic.
Do you know what I mean? We're talking about it's not homophobia, transphobia, and I feel she is being transphobic towards her own community.
And she's going to get it back. Don't tell people on their looks when
I feel people are clapping back. And it's not a hate live, I'm going to clap back at you now. You know what I mean?
I am exactly the same as EQ, regardless if I've had to change or not. I'm transgender, so is she. Like, that's it.
I was born a male, yeah?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you was born a male, you'll never be a genetic woman, EQ. So I'm going to put that there now. Love, you're still a genetic male.
Can I ask you a question, Becca, right? Because you're EQ's cousin, right? Now, when EQ clapped back at Torian, right? And she said it's because she was proving a point, not to do with racism. Do you not think people here in these boxes are doing the same thing as to what EQ did to Torian and saying, well, wait a minute, you're actually saying I'm not a trans female. You're now being transphobic towards me. Do you know what I mean? Are you there, Becca? Are you on mute? Let's see if I can take her off mute. Oh, I don't know.
But in the same breath, everyone in these boxes is being transphobic towards Alpha Bar.
Oh my god. We've just stated that that's not a trans woman, that's a cosplay of a witch.
Or if that's what she identifies as.
What, a cosplay of a witch?
Who are you to decide that she can't identify as that?
But we could say that. Who are you to say that we're all transphobic?
And she told me.
We haven't
you're saying that Chelsea's transphobic, so
no, but we haven't said anything about Alpha Bar apart from Mama Kaz. So are we all the same?
And I'll stand on that because she has told me that she's not trans.
But you said that in confidence, so why?
How can I be phobic when I'm the only trans one here? Bloody hell! I don't be phobic against myself. I literally have to be phobic against.
You wish,
Angie, I'd have to go and commit right now because transphobia is being against something. I literally am a fully post-op trans woman. I can't be transphobic. You're all thick. You haven't got the brain cells to be born with. How can I be transphobic against myself when I am the trans person, you bitches?
So what are we, love? We've got different categories. No, they are trans.
Piss off, you men.
And that is why I'm coming masculine with you, Andrew.
You are deluded. She's deluded, man.
EQ.
I think she's
still born a male.
You are crazy, love.
I don't think
you need her tablet.
I'm going to let Lola speak in a minute. Can I answer you guys a question? Can a trans female or male be transphobic towards another trans person?
See, I don't think so. I've got called it before, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just difference of opinion. I don't agree with everything that Evil Queen says, but I do kind of like see some of her points, if that makes sense. Yeah, I guess she's just a lot more blunt than I am. Like, I'm not really like. I guess it's a Scouse. I think it's a Liverpool in her, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, can I just ask a question before I drop? This is to all the trans women on the stage. So would you find it offensive if I told my son that you are a man? Like you're a woman, but you're originally a man?
I can't tell you how you.
No, but would you find it offensive? Because I'm trying to figure out if certain things I'm saying would be classed as transphobic.
It all depends the way you say it, isn't
biologically, we are all men, and and that's not gonna. I won't allow that to bother me. But you know, we are trans women now, so.
Yeah, so if I was like, that is it's a woman, but she was a man previously.
Yeah, it's the way you put it to the table, it's the way you come about it.
Yeah, that's not transphobic to say that.
No, I don't think that's transphobic.
Okay,
it's just the way you put it.
That's all I wanted to know.
Oh, thank you.
And then just another point coming off of that topic, because you know, it seems to you think that I'm talking about either Queen. It wasn't just that. You was obviously talking about the toilet situation.
Farah, do you want to come back, love? Because it's just got a warning.
You were talking about the toilet situation. I did just want to give my opinion on that as well. Me personally, if I do want to go toilet in public, I do make sure that I've done the toilet before I've gone out. And if I am in a place where there is disabled toilets, I will use that just out of my own comfortability. However, I did just want to talk about, obviously, the dangers of a trans woman using the male toilet, because I've been in a situation myself a few years ago, you know, at the very start of my journey, when I did go into a male toilet, and something really did happen to me, and I'm lucky that it didn't. So what then? So, you know, if, you know, trans women was to go into a male toilet, there's dangers for them as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, I'd advocate for like third spaces, I guess, like more third spaces. But we have them in the UK anyway. I don't know.
So, do you think that there should be a transgender toilet, male toilet, and female toilet? Because then again, I think that just segregates.
Yeah, no, I think that's segregation. By third spaces, I mean like gender neutral toilets, like unisex toilets.
Yeah, and I don't think it's right for the transgender community to use disabled toilets, because we're not disabled, and that's taking it away from someone that has a disability.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, because we're disabled.
The only way which we are.
I think the anger is coming towards the trans community, but it should be with the government, because it's what the government's decided to do. You know, to be male and female
by law. Yeah,
you know, it's just like, then that needs to be changed then, because you know, I agree. Maybe there should be gender neutral toilets, and if you know, if anyone feels comfortable using them, then great. Do you know what I mean? But for them to be male, female, and then disabled, and then you know, we're told we should go in disabled. Well, I'm not disabled. If I go into a male toilet, that could potentially be dangerous for me because I present as female. If I go into a woman's toilet, then some of you guys are saying that's a problem. So where is our place in society then? Do we just piss ourselves in a bush?
What about, can I ask a question? What about in the gym? Obviously, when you go gym and stuff, do you lot still not like do trans people use the woman, like official Juicy? If you was to go gym, would you use the woman's changing room or the man's changing room?
Well, I've got the rights to go into a female. I wouldn't go into a man's.
Okay.
Because obviously I'm not. It'd be wrong for me to go into a male.
Can I add something about the toilets real fast?
Yeah, I'm too fat to go to the gym. Can't be bothered. Sorry, Karen.
I think the only way the toilet issue is ever going to be resolved, no one's ever really going to have an opinion that's going to be agreed on this. It's very important we keep female-only spaces for obviously females. That's very important. The only way in which you can do that without eradicating female safe spaces would to be have single stall toilets, like, do you know, like Costa? Everyone's been to a Costa. It's a single stall space. The government in the UK spends about 250 million a year on benefits. We have enough money to get single stall spaces. It eradicates every single issue. We have pride events. We can put funding towards single sex spaces. It's the only way you can eradicate that issue. You can't have a separate space for transgender people, because then that would be a targeted place for discrimination. They always get they're always covered in graffiti because it's targeted.
We already have them in a lot of places anyway. Like, I've never had any issue kind of finding one, or like, you know, assimilating myself within that space. But yeah, I don't use men's and I don't use women's spaces. Purely for like the fact of like women speaking out against it, and that obviously they're scared to be attacked. So I feel like genuine transsexuals are going to take a step back and be like, well, actually, I shouldn't be in that space for the comfortability and safety and privacy of women. And then that's going to filter us out from, you know, the bad people, the predatory males who are posing as trans people. And then obviously, like, as it Mama Kaz was saying, I wouldn't use a men's toilet because, like, that'd just be fucking weird. They'd be like, "Are you okay?" So yeah, like, I just use those bases.
Are you trans, Lola? Sorry, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can I hear from Claire? Hi, Claire. Oh, okay.
Claire's here for clout. Out.
Hi, Angie. Okay.
Hi, Claire.
I'm not here for any clout. At the end of the day, this is a transgender live being held, not a racist live or anything else like that. So I don't get why Torian's here, and I don't get why Gypsy was dropped. But also, I don't get everybody is getting on about who has rights. It's my turn to speak now.
Oh, shut it, you witch.
Shut up.
Come on, it's only fair.
Claire,
yeah.
I just wanted to say to maybe if you stayed out of women's spaces till you're actually women, then that would be a good idea. You know what I mean, Angie?
No,
Isn't that right?
I'm here. I'm not here for that. I'm here to support
no, not you, Claire.
No.
I was just saying Claire, so I could speak before you. That was all. I'm saying Claire, so I could just talk before you. I was being polite. Because don't you think that's right, everyone? If you stay out of women's spaces till you're actually a full woman, that'd be great.
So what did you do then, EQ?
I wasn't in that era of you.
Okay, no. So what did you do? Because
I never had to use
you didn't always have a vagina.
I'm too posh for that, love.
You never used the public.
And that's your problem, EQ. You think you're better than everybody.
You've all got
exactly. You're not better than them just because you've got a vagina.
She's lost
her a botched vagina right now.
You've got drag queens up here. You've got three opposite stages.
EQ, just because you've got your designer vagina, love, just get out.
It's not designer, it's box.
Stay out of women's spaces until
okay, bye-bye. Go and take your
vagina spaces. Stay out of the women's spaces.
Can I just
everyone
say,
in the chat, out of the women's spaces. Get out.
Mama Kaz, don't even respond. Let her show the people. No one will go and sit in her trans lives again. Look at the way she's going on.
Can I just say though, Tori, I don't agree with the way she's coming out with it, but I do agree with the female toilets, the change rooms, and all that. I do agree with that part. Yeah, 100%. But I think she's just baiting you, man.
No, I agree with the toilet thing as well, but you can't sit here and tell them that they're not trans because you don't know people's financial struggles. You don't know if people are ready. You don't know people, you don't know. Like, who are you to, when she was a man, did anyone question her and say that she wasn't trans? Like, come on, man, it's not cool.
Like, respectfully, Angie, her view is, oh my God, as soon as I was trans, I'd done this and I'd done that. That's not in everyone's journey. Like, everyone's journey is different.
You gotta remember the surgery.
There's a huge part of mental health that comes into it. There's a huge part of evaluation that come into it. There is only one clinic in the NHS as well. You know, there's all different parts that, you know, it is to be a trans. It's not just to do that straight away. That's what you've done. Congratulations. Congratulations.
People are scared to have the surgery.
I've got a question. Angie, you've heard from so many different people in your boxes today, be it good, be it bad. What is your opinion?
My opinion stays the same.
Which is what?
Which is the same thing as to what I said. You know, I've said many times. I think I agree with EQ on that one. You know, it's the same as prisons. If you've got your bits, you're going to go into the male's prison. You know, same with the females. I think it should be the same. Female toilets, it shouldn't be educated in schools. I just agree with most of what everyone's saying, really.
So, as a host,
you went jail,
message to other people?
You go to a woman's jail, evil queen.
No, what I'm saying is not EQ. I'm talking about if you've got your bits, you go to a male's prison. If you haven't, you go to female prison. I think it should be the same for female toilets, changing rooms, because some change rooms you don't have cubicles. Depends where you are, right? So I think this should be this. You know, you go into. I don't know. It's a very difficult one, isn't it? Very difficult one.
And so also, people act like. Oh, sorry.
And you got to remember the majority of women, right? Because the trans community is a very small community, and what people are asking for the majority of women is to change how they act and how they are and how they feel. No one's going to take how I feel away. I'm not going to feel safe if someone has got their bits in the changing rooms. That's the way I feel.
And also, trans people act like even if they did go to a men's prison, they wouldn't be protected like they would. Like, they protect GAY males who are very vulnerable. They protect P3s and people like that, you know, horrible people. So if they're protecting those types of people, they will also protect people who haven't inherently committed a crime, maybe that's of that nature. They'll still protect them either way. So yeah, they would get protection.
Yeah.
One thing to say, and I'm
One
going to
question,
drop.
yeah, about the toilet thing, yeah. So say for instance you got a daughter or whatever, yeah, and you've gone out, they've gone out with their father, let's just say you're at home, they've gone out with their father, the little girl now wants to go to the toilet. The dad's obviously gonna let her go to the female toilet. How do you not feel about that? Because obviously a child and an adult is two different things.
I mean, let's not forget about Jade Palmer. He was, I think a rapist, is now living as a woman. How would you feel like bumping into him?
Hi guys, can I say one thing? Just to help out with the toilet situation. I don't know if anyone will remember, but quite a few months ago last year, there was a big debate about the schools putting the children in the same toilets. And the girls were getting abused. Now, I'm not saying anything gender-wise, but obviously, does that not mean that the toilets are shareable, or is that just in Scotland? Because I'm sure it was England that started all of them. It was all over the news.
Can I ask you a question? How do you feel as a trans woman, right, that when people sometimes, because I have heard it, kind of call a trans female peddler?
I think that's really wrong. I think that's wrong. I think that is, anyone can be that, so to target the trans community, and I think, a lot of us get that a lot, which is disgusting because, I feel anyone can be that. So to sit there and say, we're already a minority, that we are.
Sorry,
So,
we do have
I think that's really wrong. A biological male can be that, a female can be that. So yeah, it is really wrong. That is wrong. And I 100% agree with the Jade Palmer and Holly Stanley. I actually, I had the whole thing with Holly Stanley a few years ago, and I took one look and I said, look, that is somebody that is a danger. I feel like, in society we can all take a look at someone, and if we see a 6'5" man with a wig on walking into a woman's toilet, we can sit there and go, okay, that is a cross-dresser. That isn't somebody that, is a woman. I know that we shouldn't judge, but I feel like we can all have the understanding to do so, and that is what these people that did these crimes was. Do you know what I mean? But if you're seeing someone that is presenting female, looks female, is passable, I don't think that we should automatically feel worried, because for me, if talking about the toilet situation, I completely understand, and I wouldn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think that at all. I don't think it should be uncomfortable for anyone. But what I was trying to get to the point of is everyone's saying.
What you're saying, can I just interrupt you? What you're saying is that my feelings doesn't matter.
No, I'm saying that everyone's saying. No, I'm actually making a very valid point to help you all. It would actually help you all agree on the situation. What I'm saying is, so obviously you're all shouting about, no, there isn't unisex toilets. Yes, there is unisex toilets, this, that, and the next thing. What I'm trying to clarify, because some of the schools, a few months back, they were protesting that the toilets were being shared with both genders. Now, what I'm trying to say is that just in schools, or is that publicly as well? Not for me, I'm not bothered. I'm just wanting to help you guys discuss it. That's all I wanted to say.
Within the gay community, within the LGBT bars, there is not really such thing as a male and a female at toilet, because if you're out having a good time on the gay scene, you use whatever toilet you want to use.
Yeah, no, I know. I get that. That's not my point. The point is why is still debating if there's the toilets are mixed or not, because are they or not? Are they genuinely or not? Because the schools have been mixing the toilets.
I have a question.
It's not all schools, babe, because my kids' school have a girl and a boy toilet, but that's a primary school though, so I don't know.
Childhood.
Right, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to say that just so you could work it out. I'm not really bothered at all, to be honest. I like everyone.
But when you in terms of the LGBT community, we all have a safe space, believe it or not. We may say lesbian, we may say gay, we may say trans, we may say this, that, or that. But within that community, within that gay bar or whatever, we all have a safe space. My question is to Mama Kaz. Mama Kaz is...
Guys, I'm going to drop. I just wanted to say that to help you out.
Thank you, Charlie.
Okay, bye.
My question is to Mama Kaz. Like, Mama Kaz sits here like she's some voice of reason. And at the end of the day, Mama, all you ever do is sit on your live with your makeup and hair done. You never go out in the public sphere.
What has that got to do with you? What I do?
Well, because you're speaking down on other fucking people. Like
I've not done that
No,
one.
she's not.
Wayne, I don't know what you're on.
Oh,
I don't know
yes,
what you're
you do it all the
consuming in
time.
your home.
You
I
sit
don't
on
know what you're
screen with your
taking.
makeup and with your wig in.
I don't even.
And your receding line is holding on for fucking dear life, darling.
Oh, guys, do we have to go?
Don't even. I'm not even here to argue. This person's a clout chaser. I don't know what
Wait, Wayne, what's your problem with Mama Kaz? What's she?
I don't know.
My
They've always had a
Mama
problem
Kaz
with
is
me.
quite
They're weird.
She sits there with the
Wayne, this is
voice
the
and
problem.
weird.
No, Wayne, this is the problem. Instead of attacking the
Honestly,
argument, listen, I don't agree
weird.
with you, Mama Kaz, what you said. You're putting it's like a personal vendetta that you have. You're going for looks.
No, it is a personal vendetta. Wayne's very, very weird.
No, I mean, there's
very
no need to go for
person.
someone
Mama
personal.
Kaz, Evil Queen's calling you Papa Zach in the comments, so I
Well, this is-
screenshotted it for you, babe.
No, it's all right. Like, I'm going to go anyway. Angie, if you've got any last questions for me, then that's okay. I did just want to say before I go, I think this whole segregation within the trans community does need to stop. There's no one that is better than the other one. Just because some people may be further in their journey, congratulations, Evil Queen. Do you know what I mean? But this whole comparison, I'm better than you, I'm more fairer than you, it really does need to stop. You're definitely not someone to speak
Can I ask
on.
you a question before you go there? Do you think that because there's a lot of transphobia, and I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the word I'm going to just use, right, among the trans community as to why there's a lot of transphobia on TikTok and off TikTok?
Sorry, say that again, Angie.
Because I just think there's a lot of, I don't know if it's the right word, transphobia, okay, among the trans community. It seems to be, you find
It's a lot. There's a lot. And, Evil Queen doesn't help at all. Look, women need safe spaces. This is what I'm saying. You're not a woman, sweetheart. You're a trans woman. You are the same as us. This whole superior, it really starts to piss me off because you're not better than me, babe. Once upon a time, you also had what I may have had between my legs and as other trans women. So this whole women need to be in safe spaces, that includes you too, because you're not a biological woman. You are a trans woman.
Facts.
Like, honestly, it winds me up. She sits there on her high fucking horse, and now I'm gonna get mad and I'm gone. She sits there thinking that she's superior just because you've had certain surgeries, babe. If we strip that all back, if we take away your iOS updates, sweetheart, you are just the same, darling.
So wait, Mama Kaz,
by law, right? By law, it does state you do not have to have the surgery or hormones.
100%.
To be identified
There's so many
as,
other reasons. There's so many other things.
Person committing a hate crime that they.
This is a hate crime. What Evil Queen? Listen, I'm not someone that comes in and victimizes myself. I've just had Wayne attack me, right? He consistently does it all the time. I've had Evil Queen going at me for 2 years for bullshit. I really couldn't care, because it is what it is. Look, you are a man.
Why are you being transphobic, Wayne, man?
Wayne is just weird. Wayne is a weird individual.
No, drop Wayne,
Honestly,
and drop Wayne.
And can I just have an opinion on the toilets?
Before you say you're being,
no, drop him, Angela. He was
Muscle Mary needs to come out. Muscle Mary Wayne, come out because
it's a personal thing. Like, this Wayne is weird. I don't know you from nowhere. You what is weirdo? Honestly,
drop Wayne. Can we drop him? That wasn't cool, man. Come on.
Yeah. Listen, you got this is what we're all talking about. Because you got personal vendetta, don't go for someone's bloody, gender or their race. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
that's can I just say about the toilets?
That place. It's like how another trans person was trying to go at me for my weight. I mean, it's irrelevant. Like, if I cared about my weight, I'd do something about it. Like, I've said that for many a years. I'm comfortable with the way I am. That's it. But that's the only way another trans person can come at me, because they know they can't go at me any other way. Do you get what I mean? So it's got to get personal. Well, it makes it a laugh.
A bit self in areas because of EQ, you know what I mean? It's a little bit self. No, listen, I have no hate towards EQ, but it has gone a little bit. I think it's actually been quite a good live in some ways because it has shown the transphobia.
Well, Andrew's still the name Andrew.
Yes, but Angie, can I just say, because I've been sitting here waiting.
Sorry, dog.
So I have.
Mama.
So I think the transphobia between each other is absolutely ridiculous. So it is, you're giving people ammunition to go at each other, use your dead naming each other. Put it together.
Can
I have a question just to educate myself, please?
Can I finish my say first?
Yeah. I thought you'd finish. Sorry.
Thank you.
Wait, Dr.
No,
it's only
Tori,
that's named dead.
No, Pharaoh dead named Evil Queen.
on it. You can't vote for trans people. Go off, do one, darling. But don't let me start. At the end of
Well,
the day, you don't know nothing.
excuse me?
No, you're.
I don't know nothing. I'm part of the LGBT. I'm part of the LGBT. Why is Torian in the box then?
Wait, doggy mama.
Why is Torian in the box then?
Wait, doggy
Yeah,
mama.
but we're talking about trans people. Are you trans?
Can I
or
just
are you
ask a
part of
question?
the
I'm not
community?
interested in all this rowing, guys.
Hold on.
I really would
Will
just
you
like
all
to
stop
educate
talking?
myself. But you're rowing.
Please stop talking.
Mama, you're very rude.
Please stop
you know?
talking.
Like, talk to people with manners.
No, but you don't give me a chance to speak. No, I'm not rude. You are all over speaking me.
Go ahead, doggy mama.
You are all over speaking me. I'm not being rude, but you are all over speaking me, and it's getting frustrating because you are all going against each other. You should be pulling together, not turning on each other, not dead naming each other, not saying one has a manhood, the other one doesn't, the one has Russellburger, whatever. You need to all stop it. So you're damaging your own
If you want
community.
transphobia to stop, you've got to stop it among yourself.
Exactly, Angie. Exactly.
But the only one that's doing
and part
Evil Queen though.
No, the girls in the box have been
Yeah.
doing it too. So they have. It's not just Evil Queen. Now, official GC went for on personal levels too. The Evil Queen, bringing up about how she can't keep a relationship and stuff like that. There's no
That's
need
not
to be going at
transphobic.
each other.
Saying you can't keep a relationship.
I'm not saying it's
transphobic, love. That's
I'm
just
not
being
saying
shady
it's-
because
I'm
she's
not
trying to
say-
get to me.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah.
Come in here and you.
No, end off.
Can I just say something, Doggy Man? You've come in here and you're speaking about what people have said in reaction to what Evil Queen has come up here and done. She's
Literally.
invalidated every single one of us.
But
So
that's
really, you're coming here as a
unfortunate,
fan of
but
Evil
that
Queen,
might come down to the
and you're
person,
attacking us
because
when
the
she's
person
attacked
might be
us
like
all.
that to that person. That's
And
why
can
they're
we
not
go
in a
back to the
relationship. You get
topic
what I mean?
rather than he said, she said? Because we all know, we're all watching it. We don't need it highlighted. But my views on the toilets are, if people actually look at society, society is changing. Most bars, most restaurants, most shopping centres, most clothes shops that cater for both male and female. It used to be female changing room, male changing room. The female and male is dropped off completely. It's now just changing rooms. They do have cubicles everywhere. Most bars and restaurants are now changing to be more gender neutral and just having cubicles, and it just says toilets. It doesn't no longer say male and female. So society is changing, maybe not as fast as some would like it to be, but it's slowly changing in that direction.
I don't like the way it's changing. I'm not going to lie. I don't like it because people are forgetting about women that have been abused by men that have their bits and everything else. Do you know what I mean? So I don't like the way it's changing, to be honest.
Sorry, KJ. 1 second. Angie, I'm going to drop down now. Thank you for having me on your
Mama
stage.
Kaz, I really wanted to just get your opinion because this
Okay, go
also
on,
applies
darling.
to you. Sorry.
Okay, go
I
on.
would like to just be educated on this point of both male and female. If you don't have the full op, but you have body dysmorphia, like gender dysmorphia, I don't quite understand how it happens. Like, why? I know that ops are very, very, very risky. I know that. I know there's a lot of mental health behind it, etc. But
100%.
if somebody told me, for instance, there was something wrong with me. Now, this could be completely different, obviously. Of course it could. But there was something wrong with me and I could sort it by having an op. Would you not have the op? Now, I know, obviously, money can be a factor, etc.
You've
Long
answered-
waiting lists. I know all of that.
AJ, I
but
think
if
you've
we-
answered your own question, sweetheart. Mental health does come into it, 100%. And also, you've just said
What
about
does
money.
that
So,
change? But does your mental health... So let's say,
So,
for instance,
for
because
example,
there's
if you wanna
people out
do
there
it-
that won't have it, ever.
so if you want to do it the right way and not do it Evil Queen's way and everything's a rush, right? And you want to go through the
Yeah.
NHS and go through the waiting times, which is horrible. You go through a process. You have mental health evaluation, which I'm under currently. That can take 1 year, that can take 2 years, that can take 2 months, that can take 20 years. It all depends on where you are at, in your own space and in your own mind, So that's a big part of it. So mental health is something
Would
that
that
isn't
not
spoken
help your
about.
mental health to do? Listen, I'm not on the EQ thing. I'm not interested in that.
For me
I'm just asking you,
personally-
would that not help your mental health to do it? So let's say, because there's some people out there that say they will never ever go the full way. Okay, because
And
I've
that's
actually
just-
watched a
yeah.
couple of trans people that say they will never have bottom surgery because of X, Y, and Z. But to me, I don't really get it.
I think
I don't understand like how if you were offered it, because there's people that's been on the waiting list and they were offered it, and they turned it down. So I'm trying to understand why. Because if you've got body dysmorphia,
ready.
I can't answer
would you
for
not?
them. I can't answer them. For me personally, I think your gender dysphoria can be different things. It's what is causing you most concern. Do you know what I mean? So for some people, removing that isn't something that they want to do straight away. There is a lot of concerning factors with that. It isn't smooth sailing.
No, I mean it's massive, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest.
It's a huge thing, and for some people it can be a quick decision, and you could potentially end up botched. Or for other people, it can be a decision that takes a lot longer, and it's something that you want to make the decision for. It's not just popping something off. It's a big thing to do. And yeah.
I just really wanted to try and understand, because to me it just kind of was always like, if I had something that I hated and I had money, or the NHS
You
were
on
offering
about
it to
rush,
me.
desperate Dan? I didn't rush anything. A surgeon botching me is not rushing anything, you desperate damn chin bastard. What are you on about? How are you saying I've rushed anything? I know who I am. You're you old bastard. Go and get your willy off.
And that's why you're
Because I was botched by a surgeon does not mean I rushed my surgery. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You are so funny.
Yeah, so shut up and go and pluck your chin as you bitch. Piss off.
Go take your medication.
Pharaoh, one sec. You know what it is?
Thank you for answering me, though. I'm gonna drop. Thank you.
Wait, guys, do you know what I've realised with Evil Queen? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's all projection, It
is.
Because even though she's had her surgery, she's still not happy with herself,
She hates herself, Torian. She looks at the younger trans community, she hates it.
No, wait, 1 second, let me land here. She's not happy with herself here, because I don't get it. It's like you've gone through your surgery, you identify as a trans woman, yeah. So why are you coming at other people that haven't had their? It's showing that you've had your surgery and you're not happy. It's showing projection. No, I'm being serious. That's what it's given. It's given you've had your surgery and you're not happy. Like someone that's had their surgery, you should be an advocate. You should be helping Mama Kaz, helping these people that haven't had their surgery, giving them directions, giving them support. But you're here calling them all types of names. It don't make no sense.
Torian, it's giving that the Rustler burger is out of order. You need to go get it fixed. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me up. Great discussion. People in the comments are saying, can you swap the boxes around a bit just so they can have their say? I'm going to drop down. Thank you very much.
A few people in, because I do want the trans community in the boxes. Do you know what I mean?
It's projection, man. She don't leave her house. She only leaves her house to go meet Gracie. Come on, who's really happy about that?
Lobster flaps gone wrong, absolutely. Red raw lobster flaps, absolutely, and lobster face as well. She got a face like a basking crab, absolutely.
So wait, is it transphobic to say that Evil Queen is not a biological woman? Is that
no? Because she's not, and she never will be.
No, but I'm saying, is that a trans comment to make though?
No, not at all. No,
it's not. Okay.
But I'm sorry, I don't normally jump in boxes like these, but I've been listening to comments being thrown about between transgender people. Now, I've got a family member who's scared of coming out as transgender because of comments like these. What are people's opinions? Like, what advice would you give my family member for coming out?
Stay away from EQ. That's the best advice I would give, and I'm not trans.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trans either. Like, I've got a family member who is, and people that. There are some people who are scared to come out as trans because of these comments that are getting thrown across.
Oh yeah. Switch
the boxes.
I'm gonna drop out now because I'm off back to work. But there was some misinformation spread earlier. I just want to clear it before I go. You do not need valid ID or certification to be identified by the government as being trans. Chloe stated that earlier, and it's just total misinformation. When you go to prison or you go to probation, you're asked two questions. You're asked what's your sex and what's your gender. Whatever you answer the gender question, that's what you're going to be identified as. That's what you're going to be addressed as. That is your validation. You don't need any formal documents for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I'm
so
transsexual, and I just want to say that these people, what they need to do instead of jumping to the internet and believing that they're trans straight away, is they need to accept themselves for being male first, because a lot of these people don't accept themselves for being men. I don't think that trans people personally should even be identified as women, because the term woman is already taken by women. It's not an umbrella term. I'm a transsexual, and that's how I feel. I feel like the toilets sorry, I feel like the toilets are for women and women alone. I don't feel like there should be they should just be a sign that says just toilets. I completely disagree, and I think it's crazy when people suffer abuse and they need private spaces for themselves. Make it make sense. You're all men, we're all men, and this is why the arguments are coming in, because none of you accept yourself for being men, which is adult human males. That's what we are. Why are you so mad at it? The transphobia is coming in because you don't accept yourselves for who the fuck you are.
I just don't understand why all these horrible comments are getting thrown across when it's meant to be a community. It's meant to be a community, not...
It's a mental health disorder, though. This is what I'm saying. People are pushing a mental health disorder over the internet like it's normal. It's a mental health condition. It's not a community. And this is where the problems are starting. Transgenderism is a mental disorder. It's in the DSM-5 TR as a mental health condition, right by schizophrenia and bipolar.
Excuse me, I have 2 questions and then I'll go.
I said it's nothing to do. It's not mental health.
It is mental health, absolutely. It is mental health. Look it up. I'm transsexual myself. It's mental health. That's where you have to go through.
Transsexuals, not the right term.
Sorry. Well, transsexual still is a valid term. It's 100% valid and it's still used today. Hi, everyone.
I'm going to jump down. I just wanted to come up and ask the question. But thank you for letting me in the box.
No worries. So yeah, as I was saying, transsexual still is a valid term. It still has a meaning, and it is a mental health disorder, which is why you need psychotherapy, which is why you need to go to a therapist, which is why you need to take medication. As Kaz said, it's a mental health disorder, and people are struggling with a mental health disorder and claiming to be women. You need to learn to love yourselves as what you are, which is men. If we're taught to love and accept ourselves for who we are, we wouldn't have these issues.
Can I mention something, Splits T? Have you had the surgery? Have you had the surgery or you haven't?
I would never have the surgery. Do you know why? Because no matter how you toss and turn your dick like a salad and flip and toss it, it's still a penis.
Correct. I've had it done.
It's still a penis, and it don't make you better than nobody, because we're all still men. Do you know what I mean? Evil Queen. I believe that Evil Queen is mad at this purely just. Listen. Let me just speak. Purely just because this person has had the surgery, they're clearly not happy with it, and they want sorry, can you mute yourself?
Excuse me, I just wanted to have 2 things.
I'm not finished.
I know, but I was here before
in the middle of conversation. Well, that's fine, but I'm still talking. So whilst I'm talking, you can wait.
Okay.
So I believe that this person is mad and wants to push this surgery onto people who are not ready for it, because so many people regret the surgery afterwards. So many people unalive themselves after they have this surgery. And at the end of the day, I've got friends who have had the surgery and it looks disgusting. It smells disgusting. There's scars all over it, and I wouldn't promote it. Do you know what I mean? It's like an exhaust pipe. I'm so sorry. Not sorry.
Hi guys, can I just say that the term transsexual means that you've transitioned your sex. So if you haven't had the surgery, you can't identify as transsexual.
Definition. Give me the definition, because that's not what transsexual means. So give me the definition before you come up here spreading misinformation. That's not true.
No, the definition is transsexual, transitioning your sexuality.
That's not the definition. Give me the actual definition. That's not the definition. Go and Google the definition and come back. If anyone else can Google the definition in the box and tell this person exactly what transsexual means. It means to get medical care, i.e. hormone therapy, or have surgery, i.e. breast implants. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's not the definition. That's not what it means. And this is what I'm saying. That's not misinformation. People like you are taking definitions away from words, which is why words have no meaning anymore. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Pick up a dictionary and go and educate yourself. You're not telling me the definition, because that's not the definition. I have a dictionary right in front of me. Do you want me to go on big screen and open up the book? Because you're giving a false definition. I hate when people spread misinformation. Sorry.
Well, I thought the same, to be honest.
Everyone, because out of these boxes, 99% of them haven't transitioned. She's the only one that has fully transitioned, and you're all going at her. You've turned it into a hate live.
Transitioned.
See the way that's another man saying this. Oh, you don't even know what the parts are like. Rich man's gorgeous, and it's been all over OnlyFans, and everyone's seeing man. Chatting shit about it smells. Maybe your willy smells balatitis. Yeah, balatitis, probably the same as alphabet. How are they commenting on but these women's bits when they haven't even got them. A bunch of men you've got in the boxes, Angie. No women to be seen. It's crazy. Talking about women, talking about women's smell in this way and the other. How would you know? You've never even seen one. Behave yourself. You're all men. Go and get it chopped off and come back to us.
You are not a woman.
All a bunch of men, you are.
You're not a woman. Sorry, I'm not a woman. I know I'm a man. And what? Man just means...
Sorry, I don't know your name, but do you not think you're actually causing transphobia?
Definitely not. Definitely. I want people to love themselves and I want people to be accepted for who they are. Man means adult human male.
I mean, a trans woman is not biologically a woman, but they have identified themselves as a female, and that's by law as well. Do you know what I mean? You call someone a man, that's transphobic. That's also a hate crime, isn't it? So
no, listen to me, Hope. Let me just explain myself. What I'm trying to say is the term woman means adult human female. A man cannot fit into that category. As a trans woman, you're transitioning from what you believe to be a man into a woman. How can a man ever become a woman? You can't have periods, you can't give birth. And this is what I mean, reality is important. There's no transphobia, it's just the truth. And the truth sounds like hate to those who live a lie.
Can I respond to that, please?
And I would like to respond to that as well.
Yeah, I would like to respond as well.
I'm a born female. I have been a female for all my life. I do not have a... Oh, there you go. Okay, bye.
No,
I do not have
to pick you out the box.
Yeah, because I do not have a uterus. I cannot have kids, but I am born a female. So you have to be very careful with when someone is a female or not. I have been born a female and I have been female all my life. I cannot have kids. I had a defect in my uterus which made it to be taken out. I cannot have kids, so that means I'm not a real woman anymore. Apparently, for some.
Yeah, but no, because we are actually, we're talking trans, so we're not speaking on real women.
But what makes something a real woman has been a question that's been asked a couple times. And one of the answers that are mostly come up also by Torian and everything is you have to have a uterus and you have to be able to get kids. You don't have a uterus, you can't get kids, you're not a female. Yeah.
Well, no, because we don't even have a womb.
No, but I don't have either.
Yeah, but you would have had in the first, but we haven't. I've got nothing like that.
What?
Well, that's just the one thing.
Crocky shit. Listen, you were born with a uterus, which makes you a female, right? It just so happens that your uterus didn't work. I've been sterilised. I can't have children, but I'm still a woman. Fucking shut up, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. But there are so many responses like you can't be a female because you don't have a uterus or anything.
But that's the way you're classing yourself, because we're talking up on trans, like transgender, like pre-op and post-op.
Can I just also state another thing? See the difference? There is transsexual and there is transgender. Sexual is your organs. Gender is a role. I've explained this before. When you are a female, when you're born a female and you take on the female role, that is transgender. That is the gender is the role that you play in society. When you are born male and you move on to living as a woman, that is transgender. But if you've had the operation to change your sexual organs, that is when you become transsexual. There is a huge difference.
There is a difference. And I agree with what you're saying. As someone who came out at 10 years old as trans, and I've done the surgeries, I've done the hormones, I've done everything. I'm 25 now. After having that surgery, I wouldn't identify as transgender. I would identify as transsexual, because that is what being transsexual is. It's transitioning your sex organs. It's literally in the name. So people coming up here and saying, I forgot the girl's name before, saying, oh, you're a man and you need to accept it. If you feel like you're a man, then I think you need to be a cross-dresser and not identify as transsexual, because you aren't.
Yeah, Chelsea, I'm really sorry to speak about you when you're not in the box, but Chelsea knows that she was born male, right? But she was transgender and then went on to have her operations, and she is living the life that she feels that she is a transsexual woman within her own right. No, she's not a biological woman, but she is a transsexual woman within her own right. Mama Kaz is transgender. She is a transgender woman within her own right.
Can I just say though, obviously we're all trans people, regardless of where we are at in our journeys. EQ started a long time ago.
And I do think it's very damaging, someone who could potentially be a role model putting other people down.
Women should be supporting women. It doesn't matter what genitals you were born with. Women are women, and we should be supporting each other, not attacking each other because we've not got what we should have between our legs. That is disgusting.
Exactly. Can I just make a point, everyone? As a transgender person myself, as I say, I had my surgery 2 years ago. I went through 5 years. Obviously, with it being COVID, I would have had my surgery sooner. But I've been listening to this live, and I've been listening to people saying, you're a trans woman, you're not a woman. Now, I stand for biological women, but people like ourselves that go through the change, I'm very, very acceptable of people saying, you're a trans woman, fair enough. But I didn't go through nearly 6 hours operation to be who I want to be, for my terminology, for people to say, you're transgender. I want to live the life the way I want to live, and I hate the fact that Evil Queen comes on here and says that we're all men. I am a transgender woman, okay? Now, it doesn't matter what people's opinions are, it doesn't matter. As long as you are happy, be proud and be strong for who you are. There's people out there that I really find these debates and these topics quite angry, and I do get frustrated as a transgender woman myself, because everybody fights their own demons, everyone fights their own challenges, and we're not all going to be perfect and the same. And sitting here and listening to a lot of the vulgarity that's been going on, I really find that, and I agree with what people say, that the community is not sticking by each other. It's not.
No, it's not. Can I just say what disappointed me was yesterday a live was made about trans movements and about how we're discriminated, but then it's okay to come on here and call everybody men who hasn't had the surgery,
Exactly.
you know?
And that really angered me. And it's not the fact.
There's no
Sorry.
purpose.
Can I just say that I personally don't think the parts of your body matters as much as what Eva Queen's saying, because there's so much more into being a woman than just your parts. So
exactly,
for me personally, Mama Kaz comes across as a woman. Like, you know, I would feel a lot more comfortable with Mama Kaz being in the toilets with me than Eva Queen, because I don't feel like she is. I don't know how to explain it, but Mama Kaz just comes across as a woman more to me.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Mama Kaz lives her life as a woman, making her transgender. Gender is the role and sex is your organs. I'll say it until the cows come home. There was a question in the comments saying, how can Paula speak for trans when she's not trans? I've got a degree in psychology, sociology and philosophy. We studied this. It was all part of my degree, and that's why I know so much about it, about society, gender roles, etc.
I can get like wings fuck me, but it's not going to make me a bird any more than I am now.
Jamison, can I just say the comment that you said about EQ, that you wouldn't feel safe around EQ? Well, you know, you can't say that. You know, you're saying that because she's a trans woman, right? So that could be a bit, you know what I mean? She's had the surgery. What do you fear about EQ if you was to go into the changing rooms? I'd fear someone that's got their bits. I agree with her on that one.
No, I wouldn't feel comfortable.
Don't get me wrong. If someone hasn't had the surgery, I would personally feel more comfortable. Huh?
I would personally feel more comfortable with Mama Kaz than Eva Queen because of how.
Why are you comparing them, Yasmin? I mean, listen. I think with EQ, right? I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she looks better than most biological women. You know. And I don't understand why you would say you wouldn't feel safe around her. So someone that's had
because of the way she comes across, like she I don't know, the way she comes across. Didn't she have like something happen with
I don't want to talk about her journey or what.
But that's the thing, yeah. But it's a good point. She had a thing with CLA, and she did something to her, and it's just like you've obviously got more strength, like CLA said. You've got more strength than a woman. So
someone says Mama Kaz.
But Mama Kaz don't come across that way. Mama Kaz, you haven't seen her do anything like that.
Well, why did she EQ kick CLA in her vagina? So she's a man beater also for doing that, hitting a real woman. It's disgusting. It's absolutely. She's talking about being aggressive. I'm playing my masculine side because she's giving her masculine side, and I'm talking about EQ. At the end of the day, you should not have, I don't care what anyone says, you should not be hitting a female or kicking whatever her name is, CLA, That's disrespectful.
100%.
My mum would have come after you, and that would have been it.
I do want to raise a point as well about EQ. That personally, I think in the beginning, whenever she first started her transition, I don't believe she was going out on the streets telling people she was a man. It's only at this point now where she's got so far in her transition that she feels comfortable saying it to other people, you're a man, you're this, you're that.
She did do it quite
There's
young,
no
though.
way that in the beginning of her transition, when she was shit scared to go out, when she was scared to come out as trans and be accepted by the world, that she was going out there dressed as a woman and telling people I'm a man.
It's like
I ask you a question. Do you know what I think about EQ, right? And I don't want to talk about a journey, and I don't want it to be a hate life, just everyone focusing on EQ. But I do understand why people are talking about EQ. Well, she has come in this live and said what she said, so please don't think it's a hate life on EQ. She has come in here and in the comments calling these
But I don't get how it's a hate live against
yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. She has come on here and called everyone men. So don't think it's a hate live. That's what.
Which I think is wrong.
But I think it's a hate live against all the other trans, like, because of how she comes.
Well, I was going to say, I think with EQ, right, I reckon that she has gone through hell and back, right, on her journey, right? And she's, she's a beautiful woman, EQ. And like I said, it looks better than most biological women, right? And I think she feels cheated in some ways by someone that can just not have the surgery, right? Not go through what she's gone through to say, I'm a trans female, I'm a trans woman, I'm like you. And she's probably thinking, well, no, you're not like me. I've gone through this. I've gone through that. Took me years. You know what I mean? And you can't just come up and say I'm a trans woman when you haven't gone through what I've gone through. Do you?
Yeah, but no trans is going to go through what women go through anyway. Women go through so much. But this is what I'm saying. A vagina don't make you a trans at all. It's there's so much more to women. And Mama Kaz, I see her as a woman. Like, that's it. But when Evil Queen's coming on here, acting the way she does, she can't say, oh, Alphabird's not a trans, but I am, just because she's got a vagina. Because there's so much more into being a woman.
But do you not, like I just said, do you feel she's just saying, well, you're not like me. I've gone through all of that. You haven't. How are you the same as me? Do you know?
But I've gone through things as a woman. It doesn't mean that I'm trying to say, oh, you're not as woman as me.
It's
because
a journey.
That my body's gone through that she hasn't, Eva Queen hasn't. So I wouldn't turn around and say, oh, you're not as woman as me, because she wouldn't like it. Just how she's doing to other trans, saying, oh, well, I've had this done, so you're not trans like me. It doesn't make sense, because our bodies are going through things that Eva Queen ain't ever going to experience either.
I think it's a journey, though, obviously, and I think that's what people, and I'm sure she understands that. Like, when you are trans, it doesn't just happen overnight where you have your surgeries and that's the end of it, you know? So I think
you might have to just see it from EQ's, just to see it from both sides and see it from her point of view. I'm not saying that's how she feels and that's why she has these opinions. But
no, I do see it, but I think it's quite damaging in front of 4,000 people to be shaming other trans people and calling them men, especially
Yes, definitely. I agree.
Well known.
I agree 100%.
Facts, Savannah.
It's absolutely shocking at the fact that she comes on this live and she slates her own community, and I find it so annoying. And I've sat and I've watched this live for quite a while this afternoon, and every time she comes on and she's saying, oh, with the male parts, male genitalia, how does she know what part of bodies that everybody has? Who knows what everybody in this live, if you've got the male part or female part? I'm proud to have the female part. I've waited for 44 years. Now, everybody has different stories, and this is the point. You have a long journey. It's not a 24-hour thing, and it's absolutely shocking that everybody is fighting against everybody. But the other thing I'm going to say is it's giving Evil Queen more and more publicity on this, because we're all fighting against each other. I don't care how anybody else wants to react to that. As I say, I was on Evil Queen's live yesterday and I tried to give my story and I was booted out. I then went on Miss Red's live and she was more understanding and wanting to know about that person, not just for the amount of gifts that you would get. I'm not interested in gifts. I'm trying to give a story. If I go live, people are interested in your story, not anything evil, not anything bad. They just want to know, and I'm proud to tell them if they're generally interested in that. And this is what we're trying to come across as educational for people. Every trans person is going to have a different story and is going to go through it differently. And when you
I think it was definitely educational, and it showed us how much transphobia there actually is.
exactly, and I just
It's
find
also
it the
showing
fact
how much
I
transphobia is coming from trans people
Yeah,
themselves
from our
too.
own community.
exactly. We're fighting in our own community. This is why we have prides in the world. Okay, we are trying to educate people about all the different kinds of under the umbrella, if you want to call it. Now, the reason I have worked with quite a lot of people with all that come across as non-binary, asexual, whichever you want to call it. And even now, sometimes I can sometimes misgender people, but that is life. That is life. It's educational. It's the way that you come across. If they say to you, I want to be known as this, fair enough, that's fine. But we're all fighting against each other. And as I say before, I don't want to repeat myself, but I just see a lot of it, and we're all fighting against people. And then Evil Queen comes on this live and just absolutely says, oh, all men with male parts. I'm sorry, I can assure you, I did not go through 6-hour surgery in Brighton to still have what I didn't want. I have got what I want now. I am proud to what I am, and I will walk up and down the street, and I am proud. It took a long, long time. And I hate when people slate other people when we're supposed to be a community. If we're going to be slating each other, why on earth should we be doing our prides all around the world? For people that are generally, may I say, on our side, and then there's people like Evil Queen that are slating people. I cannot and I will not put up with that. I don't know what everyone else's views are on it, but I think it's absolutely shocking the way she comes on and slates everybody. Who cares what you've got between your legs? You're still a human being.
Well said, Caitlin. It's no competition.
No, exactly. I can go. Just one more thing. Sorry, I can go out. It took a long time for me to build the confidence to go on a public transport when I became Caitlin. It took me a long time to go into. When I started my transition, I would always stick with the gay bars in Edinburgh and things because you feel safe. See, now I can walk into any bar, any pub, any restaurant and be Caitlin, and nobody blinked an eyelid. And the last thing I need to say is the confidence I had. I knew that I was strong when I went swimming. Now, I don't know about any other transgender person, but I was very, very scared on that part because I love swimming. And then when I went and bought my first outfit, my swimming costume, and I went swimming, and I went out there, and it obviously in a lot of pools it's mixed changing, and I was very nervous. I walked into the pool, and I thought everyone's going to stare at me. Do you know what? Nobody did. Not one person did, and that's when I knew. I thought nobody's interested in what you are. You are who you are. Be strong, be proud, and be yourself. And all this slating and things needs to stop on the social media. It's absolutely, that's what's terrorizing the younger generation and making other people feel scared or wanting to come out for who they are. Because with me being a transgender woman in the 1990s, it was a bit, when I was growing up, it was very scary. And that's why I had to do it when I became older. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I just really think that the LGBT umbrella need to stick together on this.
Can I just say, I think people need to realise how their house was built and what foundations were used. Does that make sense? I feel like a lot of people are blinded by how far they've come and a bit almost arrogant. And I'm not saying any names. I'm just saying in general, that's my experience from what I've seen. And I feel like if we don't support one another and actually, get to the bottom of who we really are, because regardless of whatever you have done, you will always be what you were born at birth. And I just think it's very sad that everyone's against each other. We've got a lot of people saying Team EQ in the comments, as if that we are all out to get.
Let them do that. Let them do that. As I say,
the thing is Angie,
I have no issue. I just didn't like her calling everyone a man. That was the only thing I can comment on.
Yeah, Angie, the way you
that's my point.
The way Angie said, "Oh, EQ is a beautiful woman," and I think she looks better. That's how I feel about Mama Kaz, though, and everyone's got their personal opinion on looks and stuff. And I think Mama Kaz, she comes across as a woman, and I would feel comfortable with her. But let's be honest, the way EQ comes and makes herself seem, you would think a bit, do you know what I mean? If she come into your toilets, you'd think, oh, no, like, and I'm going to leave it as a vagina doesn't make you a woman. There is so much more into being a woman than a vagina. And
I think it does make, if I'm honest with you though, I will, as a trans person, I will have to say that it is a very important part within a transition to define you as
maybe
a woman.
in a trans, but as a woman, I'm a woman myself. There's so much more into being a woman than just my parts.
But what do you mean by woman? Do you mean biological woman, or you what is
just
woman
a woman,
to you?
like a woman in general? Like there's so much more like into being a woman, like personality. You feel like I feel like a woman, not
But
because of my
everybody
vagina.
is very
I just feel
different
like a woman.
personality-wise as well, you know. So I understand your point, but in some ways I don't.
I could now get something put on down below, but I will still feel like a woman. You know, your vagina doesn't make you a woman. Like there's so much more into it.
Maybe to you because you was born a woman, yeah. But as trans women, it defines a lot, you know.
For you though, that's your opinion. Another trans might have a different opinion to you,
Well,
and that's what it comes down to.
I
Everyone's
would have
got
an
a different
opinion on them, then, wouldn't I? But
I'm actually gonna kind of agree with what Yasmin, what you're saying, because I felt like a woman before and after my surgeries. I don't feel like they made me more of a woman or less of a woman. They just made me feel more comfortable with my body.
Yeah.
So they did make you feel more feminine because as a woman, because why have those surgeries then if you already felt as if you were, you know?
Honestly, aesthetic. I ain't even gonna lie about it. Purely aesthetic and purely just wanting to be more comfortable in clothing and stuff like that. But in my mind, I felt like a woman or a trans woman.
Yeah.
Before and afterwards. It literally
was mind, but you didn't see it in the reflection, maybe.
No, of course, like certain body parts didn't match up with how I felt in my mind, but
yeah,
I understand where Yasmin's coming from. Like being a woman is more than just the body parts that you have. You know, not everyone has a nurturing side. Not everyone is approachable. Some people are aggressive, and it comes across quite masculine. Like, I think, Yasmin, am I wrong in saying that that's what you mean when you say like it's more than just your body parts when it comes to being a woman?
I didn't hear most of it, but I've agreed with everything you said so far. So
no,
yeah,
worries.
probably.
Can I just hear from Famous, darling? So I'm going to shut it down in a minute. Anyway, guys, hi, Famous, darling.
Hi, yeah, I'm probably not going to be very liked when I say this, but hey ho, never mind. We're going on about who you'd feel safer with in the toilets, EQ or Mama Kaz. I definitely would feel safer with EQ because can we all just jog our minds a bit back? Didn't Mama Kaz lie about domestic violence? So who would you feel safer with?
I'll feel safer with someone without their male parts. I'm not going to lie.
Mama Kaz.
Yeah. So, you know, and big up to Evil Queen. I know she says some horrendous things, but she's a beautiful lady. And I'm sorry, I would not feel safe with anyone that has lied about DV or anything. That is just my opinion.
I don't know the topic on that to speak up on it.
She lied about domestic violence, so I would not feel safe with anywhere near her.
I wouldn't feel safe with someone, like I keep saying, but with some of their male parts because, and I'll tell you why, not because it's the trans community, it could be anybody, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to drop now because...
Well, there could be anyone with a vagina.
They've got a vagina. Let me tell you why, because I've lost my thought now. Because they've still, just because they've still got their male parts, and how about someone just waking up one day, putting on a wig and saying, I'm going to use the toilets or the change rooms and I'm going to be identified as a trans woman today? You know, that could happen, right?
Yeah, and it does happen. That's the problem as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Right, guys, I am going to shut it down now. It's now 2:30. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Went a little